There are a lot of candidates on today's primary ballot running for spots as congresspeople, Miami-Dade county commissioners, judges, and school board candidates. Tonight will be extremely interesting at the polls. After you vote, check back here as we fill in the results. Scroll past the candidate list, read updates. Candidates, winner in bold, Governor Democrats Andrew Gillum, Gwen Graham, Philip Levine, Chris King, Jeff Green. Republicans Ron DeSantis, Adam Putnam. Congressional District 27 Democrats Donna Shalala, David Richardson, Matt Hagman, Kristen Rosen Gonzalez, Michael Hepburn. Republicans Maria Elvira Salazar, Bruno Barrero, Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera, Angie Chirino, Gina Sosa Suarez, Maria Pero, Michael O'Havjian, Stephen Marks, Elizabeth Haddadi. Congressional District 26 Democrats Debbie McCarcel Powell, Demetrius Grimes. Congressional District 23 Republicans Joe Kaufman, Carlos Reyes, Carla Spalding. Congressional District 22 Republicans Nicholas Kimis, Javier Manjarres, Edison Walther. State Senate District 38 Democrats Daphne Campbell, Jason Pizzo. State House District 108 Democrats Roy Hard, Mondo T. Joseph. State House District 113 Michael Greco, Deed Wythorn, Cubs Lachlan Donnie. Attorney General Democrats Sean Shaw, Ryan Torrens. Republicans Ashley Moody, Frank White. Agriculture Commissioner Democrats Jeff Porter, R. David Walker, Nikki Fried. Republicans Matt Caldwell, Denise Grimsley, Baxter Troutman, Mike McAllister. Miami-Dade County Commission District 2 Doran Rolla, Jean Monsetami. District 6 Rebecca Sosa, Marilyn Vargas. District 8 Daniela Levine Cava, Gus Barrero, Jonathan Burke. District 10 Javier Suto, Alfred Santamaria, Julio Sanchez, Jose Garrido. District 12 Jose Pepe Diaz, Patricio Moreno, Rafael Pinheiro. Referenda. Jungle Island County Mayor, Commissioner Salaries, Zoning Board of Adjustment. Personnel changes 9:30 p.m. Wow. The Associated Press has called the Democratic governor's race for Andrew Gillum the first black gubernatorial nominee in state history. Gillum ran as the only out-and-out progressive in the race, the only non-millionaire, and the only candidate to run on a clear, ideas-first, progressive platform that included abolishing ICE, making college free, and instituting Medicare for all. He had Bernie Sanders' endorsement, perhaps not surprisingly. 9 p.m. Gillum, who ran on abolishing ICE and instituting Medicare for all, was endorsed by Bernie Sanders, and even had the support of local labor groups and many Democratic Socialists of America activists, appears to be pulling away with the statewide Democratic gubernatorial nomination. That's absolutely wild. If it holds in Florida, he'd be the first exciting Democratic candidate for governor in Florida since maybe ever. The Florida Democrats almost exclusively run Tampa, North Florida centrists with weird ethical scandals and moral issues plaguing their pasts. Gillum, who has admittedly moved left over time and does have an FBI investigation scandal hanging over him, would nonetheless be the first Democratic candidate for governor in the Sunshine State to benefit from a big swell of local, young, grassroots support. The same isn't quite true in Miami's District 27 congressional race. State lawmaker David Richardson has conceded to Donna Shalala, the former University of Miami president, Clinton Foundation leader, and U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services under Bill Clinton. With 87% of precincts reporting, former U.S. Health and Human Services Sec. Donna Shalala has 32% of the vote to Richardson's 27%. FL Dems miss out on an opportunity to elect a real progressive. https://t.co/cn5poc9fl. Rebecca Intralgo Fernandez, at Rebecca Intralgo, August 29, 2018, 8:30 p.m. Tonight was also, technically, a Miami-Dade County Commission race, but you likely would not have noticed had New Times not brought it up. For better or for worse, very incumbent Daniela Levine Cava, Jean Monesteem, Rebecca Sosa, Javier Sudo, and Jose Pepe Diaz cartwheeled to victory. Oh, and the Miami Herald has called the race for DeSantis witches. The surprise at this point? Someone mop Putnam up off the floor, please. 8:15 p.m. Polls only closed in part of the Panhandle 15 minutes or so ago, so there's still a lot of statewide accounting to do. Plus, in a move that might give some folks PTSD, Broward County has been struggling with some of its election data, but Graham is oh so slightly leading Gillum statewide, and there's still some time for Gillum to close that gap. With 83% of precincts reporting in Miami-Dade County, it's nearly time to call some races. Ron DeSantis is not going to lose to Adam Putnam, for starters. But Shalala has held on to her congressional district lead over Richardson for most of the night. On that race's Republican side, former CNN and Univision reporter Maria Elvira Salazar, who is long considered the frontrunner, has been cruising to victory all night. Longtime county commissioner and well-known doofus Bruno Barrero is losing handily, and Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera, whom the Miami Herald endorsed despite her claiming to have been abducted by aliens, is sitting at 4.25%. Absentee ballots to take a while to come back from space, though. In the other statewide races, state legislator Matt Caldwell, a prolific Republican Attorney General candidate Frank White just conceded that race to competitor Ashley Moody, and progressive Democratic candidate Sean Shaw has clobbered his opponent in that race, too. 7:44 p.m., Gillum's surge continues. He and Levine are effectively tied now in Levine's home county, and he is only behind Levine's 41,000 votes by about 1,500 or so. This bodes well for Gillum statewide tonight. Campbell and Hardeman are still on track to lose. But, do I hear DJ ESQ's music? Convicted criminal, former prosecutor, DJ, and ex-Miami Beach City Commissioner Michael Grieco, who pleaded no contest to campaign finance violations just last October, is narrowly ahead in his statehouse race by just about 400 votes. There's still 40% of the county to go, but Miami may not be rid of Grieco just yet. Time for a handy breakdown of Republican races. GOP gubernatorial candidate Ron DeSantis, the human version of a cruise missile stuffed into a suit, has ridden a massive wave of jingoism and pro-Trump capitulation to take 68% of the vote in Miami-Dade County so far. In any other year, Adam Putnam would have seemed like a shoo-in. He hates the fake news media and the immigrants and the deep state as much as the next guy. But DeSantis scored an early Trump endorsement, won a bunch of free airtime on Fox News, the only news source that matters to reactionary voters, and the rest was history. Putnam spent the last few weeks of the race name-dropping obscure Florida towns to make himself sound like a local, but nobody cared. The swine who supported Trump in Florida would have voted for DeSantis had he been from the moon. 7:25 p.m., we've got Dade County's vote-by-mail results. Perhaps not surprisingly, Miami Beach's own ex-mayor, Philip Levine, did well among absentee voters, taking just a hair shy of 40%. It's not stunning that Levine did well in his own home county, but it's Gillum in distant second place, 10,000-ish votes to Levine's 20,000, ahead of alleged frontrunner Gwen Graham. Miami-Dade results could be a sign that Gillum will walk away with the vote statewide, but we'll see. Down the ballot, two incumbent candidates on New Times' anti-endorsement list are behind in absentee ballot votes: alleged woman puncher Roy Hardeman and absurd, serial lying, accused, secret Republican, Daphne Campbell. Members of the local Democratic Party, and fellow politicians, campaigned against Campbell and Hardeman. Their challengers both also ran straight-ahead, competent, drama-free campaigns. The same cannot be said for Campbell, who called the cops on two different reporters in 2018 alone. 7 p.m. Polls have closed across Florida, except for that weird part of the Panhandle netherworld that DOESNT fall in Eastern Standard Time. Due to the time zone change, statewide results don't start popping online until 8 p.m. or so, but we should start seeing results shortly. As a bunch of reporters already noted a few hours ago, turnout so far has been massive in Miami-Dade County, which bodes well for Democrats and progressive-leaning folks in the smaller, nonpartisan, county-level elections, such as the state Senate race between pathological liar Daphne Campbell and opponent Jason Pizzo. large. In this case's relative, Dade County is reporting that about 20% of registered voters went to the polls today, 5:30 p.m. So far, it looks like the Democratic blue wave is actually hitting. As of 3:30 p.m., voter turnout was reportedly crushing previous counts for midterm primary elections in Miami. Per CBS Miami's Jim DeFeed, Republican turnout is spiking to 31%, but Democratic turnout is up a whopping 71% over 2014, and to give you an idea of intensity, the Republican vote, early in-person and mail-in, is up 31% this year over 2014, and that is great news for Republicans. Except for one thing. Democratic turnout is up 71% over 2014 in early and mail-in vote. Jim DeFeed, at DeFeed, August 28, 2018. Elsewhere, some candidates already appear to be packing it in. Yesterday, Democratic gubernatorial candidate Jeff Green, a man who got rich betting that the banks would fail during the 2008 recession, canceled his election night watch party after an effort that New Times generously dubbed the single stupidest Democratic campaign we'd ever seen. Some highlights: he is a billionaire real estate developer who yelled at others for their allegedly corrupt real estate deals. He used his personal Mar-a-Lago membership to take anti-Trump photos inside Mar-a-Lago, etc. Goodbye, billionaire fail man, we hardly knew ye.